This is it. But no sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
Visitors! What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmerich Volkaren of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met, well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl. What a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I liked that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
That looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Ahead of us. Something's moving.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
It's vital we discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves, depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
No reaching these. They're mindless.
What are they doing? Make them stop!
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker dead work themselves into frenzies.
Way to warn them!
I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Doors open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
So, Professor,
Just Emmerich, please.
you weren't that surprised we need a Fade expert.
The spirits talk. Even the simplest have been clamoring about chaos in the Fade. Someone coming to consult wasn't an if, so much as a when. They're firing at us!
They're hitting us from there! Good hit! Everybody good? It's freezing. What's doing this?
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too. And I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid. They've answered. We'll need to guide the wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those wisps really came just because you asked.
They care for us, Rook. Our ever-loyal friends amongst the dead.
Here's our second wisp.
Hey, desk guy. Is it staring at me?
It is aware of your presence, but a wisp's senses differ from our own.
As long as it doesn't sense its way into making a corpse walk around.
There's the last wisp.
Good. Let's return to the door. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction.
Ready for a fight?
We're taking fire!
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I grew up in Tevinter.
Our cousins in Magecraft to the north. You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final pass to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
Why is this bell so important?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
But it won't destroy them? Them being here isn't their fault.
No. In this instance, banishment will suffice. Though, forgive me, I had the impression our denizens unnerved you?
I'm from Ravain. Spirits are okay, so long as they're not walking corpses around.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair! Who brought it here? The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Corpses talk to you? That's messed up.
Oh, there's no danger in it, I assure you.
That's not the messed up part.
hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
Found those Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
Ah, I'll fill you in on them later.
Strike them now! Fantastic!
Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. This looks interesting.
A spirit labyrinth? I didn't know they'd learn to make miniature ones in Tevinter.
Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous.
I know people in Minrathous who would help with that. Just say the word.
Thank you. We'd welcome the assistance. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain.
Excellent.
Yes! Got it.
Spy trouble ahead.
There.
Strength of
bell. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori?
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
Careful! Look left!
How are we doing, Emmerich?
The bell is slowly wakening, but we must fight a little longer.
The Venatori brought demons.
One for Rock.
Dead now.
Will force Rook! We're halfway there.
Emmerich, now what?
Now, the grand necropolis shows itself.
The magic bell worked. The despair demon's pissed off.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
Can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after a slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The elven gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navara. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Are you good in a fight? We went through a lot of demons.
I've faced worse in the necropolis.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful! I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmerich was off to a new adventure. But in Navara, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmerich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.
What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
They want a war? We'll damn well give them one.
You need an army to fight a war, though. They've got two. The Venatori and Antam wasted no time allying themselves with the gods. Power at any cost.
So how do we fight back, then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies. Like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
The Shadow Dragons? I should have earned my way back into their good graces after we saved Minrathous.
Tarquin won't ever admit it, but he was impressed.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
The First Warden didn't seem impressed the last time we met.
I heard he told you to piss up a rope.
Will he be in the wetlands?
I don't keep track, but he can't stop you from asking a few questions, if we're fast enough.
Any details on the Blight in the wetlands?
Antoine said he didn't write it down.
Why not?
Either he didn't trust someone else wouldn't read the note, or he didn't want us to panic.
Gillenane has laid low since we hurt her dragon, but the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than Wardens.
Morrigan and those Wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods. In their power and wrath, at least.
Lucanus, you're back.
I am.
Couple of new people have joined the team since you've been gone. This is Professor Emmerich Volkaren. He's our Fade expert. And Tosh, our dragon hunter.
Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met. So, a dragon hunter. Treviso could have used you.
What's happening there?
It's just... people blame you for what happened to Treviso, Rook. But they did not have to make that choice, knowing what the gods are capable of. There was no recall. Still, it changes things. How could it not?
But you're back with us?
Yes, here to stay.
Good to have you back. Whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what they did to Treviso, I want these gods to fall. I don't see anyone else with a better chance than you. My blade's yours. Until the end.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
If I don't make the tough decisions, no one else will. So I live with the consequences.
And you don't blame anyone else for them. That's why I recruited you. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the Wardens found. All this chatting has taken it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
live here.
Mona's pal dogs active.
Hey.
And now a dragon. What's happening to this city? I heard some people lost their homes. I wish there was some...
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
Andaran Artishan. Anathara. I wish we could be meeting without our gods threatening to blight the world.
A blight that spreads wider with each passing heartbeat.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane. Sounds like I'm cleaning up your mess.
Rook.
No, Harding. This is my mess.
The Inquisition saved the world.
We solved a problem, and in doing so, accidentally created several new problems. Too many leaders claim credit while avoiding responsibility. I won't be one of them. So, Rook, I am asking you to help me clean up my mess.
Okay. And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south.
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
We think their goal is to prevent the south from rallying to aid any war effort up here. It's working. The armies of the south have their hands full protecting their own cities. But some friends and I are doing what we can to rally them together. Again, the south is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the blight. If the south is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I've been having trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength... My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette? Something to do with Solus?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade.
We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I appreciate it. Solus has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade. But anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solus rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
Solus was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Rook, welcome to the Hosberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
This place is...
foreboding?
Yes. Well, foreboding is normal here, but it's worse than usual.
The Blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hosberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
It only gets worse from here.
We've got the same feeling.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the Blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the Blight's usual song.
Stories say Warden sends blight. I never thought it was literal.
It happens when you join the Order. But that's more than I should say.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
All right. Tell me there's a plan.
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the Blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
So you two study the Blight?
Formally? No. Well, maybe. It depends on your definition.
We travel a lot, and tend to get sidetracked by weird problems.
Who knew I'd roam so far for Morlaix? If we want to help, we need to learn what we're dealing with.
Leave it to me.
You can't just handle Blight. I'll give you something to contain it. And watch for Darkspawn.
I'll try not to die.
We'd prefer you didn't.
So be careful.
Oh, hello. You're here to help?
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village. We can start there. Got a sample. I'm guessing they'll need more than one.
I'd love to say we can move with less evidence. I shouldn't, but I'd love to.
Got the sample.
Mierda.
There, another champion. Take your blight with you. Better get this. Got it.
The Mera's crossing. Now this. This is a hint into what the gods can do with the blight.
Get ready.
This was farmland.
And people's homes.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
Rook, are you looking for an excuse to fire that thing? About the boy? Or just mad in general?
We need to stop
Get out of there! Get back!
It's down.
Still standing, not bad.
And another sample.
That must be enough samples.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine. Light gummed up the entrance. I think we can cut through.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden,
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Do you think titles and bluster scare me?
And your venom is better directed toward your magisters.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. She's telling the truth. The blight has changed. And that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
Why listen to the experts? You've clearly got this handled.
That's enough from you. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But
The blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
What an asshole. A lot of people are gonna die for his arrogance.
Maybe.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgarnon had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
He finally agrees to... meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
You need to head back to Weishaupt.
Soon. We can risk a small delay before we're missed.
We'll continue helping here for a while, and help you on the way if we can.